Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elaina. I'm on Painted as Raven Season 2. I usually do reviews and tutorials and drag looks, but I've been only doing Painted as Raven looks because I'm on it. Oh, I was on it. It's all already over. And this is my final 3 looks. I never got invited to the ball. How rude. So I invited myself very fashionably late, and I'm going to be doing my 3 looks for the finale, what I would have done or I could possibly have done. And I'm doing intro in my final divine self look because this is the best and the highest goddess look. And we're going to be going through all of them quickly in a voiceover because it's 3 looks in one video. So you guys going to see how I did this quickly, and I'm going to be talking what the looks are and how I came up with them. And you're gonna get to see a little bit of this and that and why I picked those looks. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you get notified of all new stuff I upload. I upload 2 to 3 times a week and also go live on some days. Sometimes when I have time. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into this. So before we go in my first look, I'm not sure how I'm gonna edit this in the future. Elena's problems, okay? I'm recording this on my last day. So these 3 looks were shot in one day for the contestants, for the finalists, of course. Congratulations to Nikki, Q, and Tucker for being in the finale, and huge congratulations to Tucker for winning the whole thing. You're talented, you're beautiful, and you totally deserved it. You did a beautiful work. But of course, I wanted to be in finale, and I think if I were in finale, I could have possibly won the whole thing if I came up with this look, with these 3 looks. But we would never know because I wasn't. I wasn't invited to the ball, and now invited myself, like I said in the beginning, fashionably late, weeks late. So with that being said, the final ball, Beat for the Gods, so the Ascension ball. Look 1, Lower Realms. This look will represent a lower realm self. You will communicate your greatest personal struggle, suffering, or something you overcome. The second look, the Earthly Mask. This is how you think people see you in the world and society sees you. And also like just your Earthly Mask look, how you think you look. And the third look is Divine Self. The final look will be Higher Selves and Heavenly Forms, drawing inspiration from classical, modern divine beings, gods, goddesses, icons, legends, angels, prophets, divine beings, any like Greek, Roman, Mesopotamia, Egyptians, Judeo-Christians, any type of goddesses. So for me, I was thinking about this a lot. You know, when you think about personal struggle, some contestants are younger, so maybe it's not that hard to pick from things. But when you live to a ripe age of 47, there are a lot of things you could pick from. I could croak and complain forever about my broken knees, about my fitness job that I cannot do anymore because of about my voice problems that I had. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm just laughing at myself. Anyway, but I guess the most interesting struggle, like maybe from the younger age, would be like me being reserved and very introverted and not liked by my peers. And I didn't want to be seen, I want to be hidden. You know, it's like I don't want to blend in, and I didn't do like art or makeup, so I had my fingers, you'll see. I decided to be like, to represent something like I'm hiding, you know, behind the hands and fingers, so evil creature or something. So that was the first one, and I wanted to associate all of the 3 looks with the Russian Slavic goddesses. The last look is goddess, so I figured why not make them all based on some kind of goddess. So the first one was based by the Russian Slavic goddess of death, winter, Marina, they have different pronunciations. The second look is based on the goddess of spring. Her name is Vesna. Vesna is Russian, spring in Russian. And second look was how I think world sees me. I'm like queen of rainbow. I usually do colorful looks, so I wanted to represent all of the rainbow burst out from the first look and make it really colorful and the way I usually paint. And the goddess of spring, so there's gonna be flowers, you see. And a third look, I wanted to represent the goddess of love, fertility, eroticism, marriage, all of that. And this is the goddess named Lada. Guess what? I named myself my drag name. After goddess, I kind of like my drag name more now that it's not just a junkety car, that it's a goddess. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Shows you how Russian I am. I don't know anything about Russian goddesses. Well, now I do. So this is Lada, the goddess of love, fertility, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about this after each look is completed because I wasn't sure how I'm gonna edit it. So I gave you a short summary. And I'm going to explain to you how each look is connected by colors, by, you know, the way they're Slavic goddesses, and also by hands, fingers, placements. I had fake fingers in other looks too, and I have hands here. There you go. So without further ado, you're probably tired of me talking. Let's get into the looks. So I'll start with a Beauty Bay neutral palette. For my left eye, it's gonna be all black and white, and this is all neutrals, blacks, grays, pretty much. And the other eye, I wanted to make a neutral look, and then I realized it needs to have color. So what you see here is just me going with neutrals, and now there I am in color. I'm using Indie Beat Cosmetics foundations for base, white, and also black for contour. Then I'm gonna set it all with a baby powder, and yeah, I'm contouring the nose here. And now that I set it, I'm using Black is Black Makeup Obsession palette for contour because it has good grace, very mild grace. It's easy to contour. And here I attached the finger already. I'm using Maybelline lipsticks for the lips. The fingers are made from forming clay, like a foam type of thing. And I'm using a black brow pen to do the brow, and water activated paints to paint the fingers, water activated paints to paint the burst around the eyes, where I'm bursting out in rainbows. The fingers are glued on, some of them glued on with Prosate, and some just put under my wig cap because there she is, lower realm self. For me, I would say the biggest struggle, and it still is, like, it's an imposter syndrome. It's like I feel like I don't belong, you know, sometimes and a lot of times. And sometimes I lack confidence, and I used to be very introverted, like, you know, my younger years. And I didn't get along with people because people didn't think I had a personality, and I have a lot of personality, but I was kind of hiding it, I guess. I don't know. I was just very introverted, and it took me years to kind of come to myself and be people's person. I think group fitness, when I worked as a fitness instructor, helped a lot. So the fingers kind of represent the, you know, trying to close my eyes and close my mouth, you know, not let me see and not let me speak. And this one that I'm gonna pose for pictures with, the one I already bit off. I wanted to do it black and white because it represents going from like life without color, and my colorful personality is finally coming through, you know, and that was my struggle. So I hope you get it. And also, since I want to base this on older goddesses of Slavic culture, my culture, Russian culture, this is, I'm not sure, like it's Marina or Marina. It's a Russian Slavic goddess of death. And sometimes she like looks like a creepy creature. Sometimes she looks like a beautiful woman. So like she can transform into things. And when I was reading about this, I thought it would be a perfect description for the character I should base myself on. So yeah, it's a long-winded explanation. Anyway, there you got it. Instagram pictures I'm gonna post with a finger right now. I'm just gonna post like this. I'm really feeling it. I'm feeling the drama, the struggle, and all the fingers are trying to fight with me. But anyway, so you get the gist. So get ready for the part 2. My earthly mask, how I think others see me. So let's get right into the second look. So for the earthly mask look, I'm using Chapter 1 Alexa Stone palette, and pretty much a very colorful rainbow look, because this is what came out on my first look. It was black and white. So my rainbow personality, and also this is Narvina Volume 6, of course. I used both of them for the neons from Alexa Stone palette and bright colors from Narvina. All of the rainbow colors and the black. I'm just creating the most rainbow bright look and using Indie Beat Cosmetics white foundation. And also I'm gonna use some grease paints to counter highlight and create brush strokes. I wanted this to look like somewhat blended on my face, but then also wanted to look like paint strokes, like I'm painted, you know. Because I love to paint and I love to paint with rainbows, so I just wanted to look like art rather than just makeup. And a rainbow on my forehead, of course. This is all cheap grease paint, by the way. It's just easier to work with them at the moment because I need all of the colors, so, and they're very bright. I wanted to create rainbow, but I also wanted to put odd colors where they're not supposed to go, like blues next to yellow, because I wanted to look like a kind of a impressionist Monet painting, the two, like little strokes. And after I set it with baby powder, of course, I'm using the water activated colors and painting flowers pretty much on. I used Artitude Cosmetics and some other water activated paints, using water paints like a browns to create vines, and Maybelline lipsticks on the lips to create like a smiley look, because I'm always smiley, so people see me as smiling. And here we are, all finished. Quick voiceover as usual, because remember guys, I'm filming this in separate days and I'm gonna put this all together as one video. So this is the earthly mask. I forgot the name of it. I spent so many hours doing it. So earthly mask is supposed to be something that you think how the world sees you. This one is the goddess of spring, and her name is Vesna. Vesna is spring in Russian, so that was the whole idea. So in ancient Slav mythology, Vesna was the goddess of spring and fertility. She was in charge of springtime, morning, the birth of everything alive. She's also known as Jiva Diva. Oh, hello. And among Poles as Divana. Vesna is portrayed as always smiling. That's why I gave myself like a smiley mouth. Beautiful, naked and barefoot. Well, I'm not naked. I don't want to be banned from YouTube. Sometimes only using a few leaves of fern and some flowers for clothes. Her hair is long, almost to her knees, and various different flowers are in her hair as decoration. Well, obviously, the spring goddess, flowers. Also wanted to paint myself in rainbows, as you saw in my first look. And the first look was black and white. It was very like introverted, miserable. Excuse me, my nose is running from all this paint. And everything was very kind of dark and bleak. And the rainbow was coming through to signify that I'm overcoming some difficulties and like disbelief. What do you call it? Not believing in yourself. Anyway. And I had this rainbow here, and I had a little bit of rainbow in my mouth, and I had black everywhere. It was no chest paint, it was all covered up. So here the rainbow finally burst through. So I have rainbow in my eyes and then rainbow in the face to kind of paint like a almost like a painting, like a brush strokes. Here I got brush strokes here, and I have kind of bursted in color of spring and rainbow. I kind of call myself, and my friends call me Queen of Rainbow, because I blend rainbow. I love rainbow. I mean, if you've seen my Instagram and my YouTube, It's all rainbow. So I wanted this look also to represent what I usually paint as a makeup artist, rainbow. That's how I think others see me, in rainbows and smiley. And the Russian goddess of spring kind of goes with it very well, I think. And I painted flowers on myself to signify spring. The flowers also in rainbow. I have yellow, orange, green, blue, pink. Same thing here. And on my chest as well. And it's all sprouting in spring leaves. The chest is a little more abstract, like a more smudgy. I wanted just more and be more like a painting, and the face, pretty much everything is like painting. If you recognize these are the fingers from my first look. Those fingers, kind of evil witch fingers. I have a couple of them here. They're still gray, but they're like covering up my mouth, my eyes. I can't, I don't want to be seen and I don't want to be heard. So this time the fingers have been ripped out and they went, instead of closed, to open, and they actually sprouting some greens and rainbows. So they're covered in rainbow colors and they're full of life this time. So this is all tying it all together, ready for the ascension to the final and higher goddess look. Oh yeah, and by the way, the final touch. This is my Russian shawl from my mom. This is one of the rare mementos that I have actually from my old life in my country. I I like to declutter, so I don't keep anything. So like I don't really have anything old at all, except for this. This is like traditional Russian shawl. They have flowers everywhere, and this is what I kept. I had it since my teen years. My mom had it and she passed it on to me, and I brought it to US. I'll see you in my next fabulous video and a final look. So for this look, I'm going to use Norvenas, a lot of Norvenas. That's volume 1. And I decided to go with a rounded shape this time instead of my usual thatched out, just for a different, and I want it to be a little more different, like a regal, royal, you know, it's a highest goddess, a Slavic goddess. Using Indie Bit Cosmetics, of course, because this foundation rocks, and this is white foundation, and I'm using pink from Indie Bit Cosmetics, but also using a bright fuchsia kind of pink that I needed, and that came from Makeup Revolution High Bases. I used high base for that. It's very kind of fluid, so it's easy to contour with it. I wanted to make myself pink, white, and gold, and silver, like all the kind of colors of love. It's a goddess of love and fertility, so I wanted her to be pink. Grease paint, actually this is a grease paint, golden grease paint, and the foil sticks right onto it, so it's very easy to use on foil. This is the same grease paint, and I'm fingering my chest to paint sun, because why not? You can finger the perfect circle. I set it with eyeshadow actually and glitter on top of it, like everything in the kitchen sink, because this is my final Ascension ball look, has to have everything. Painted the outline of the sun. It's kind of a symbolic sun rather than actual sun, because it symbolizes the goddess, the highest goddess, and she's often seen with the sun symbol on her chest. That's what I read about it. So I decided to paint the sun and the open hands to symbolize openness, and yeah, the glitter. This is kimchi glitter and profusion glitter. I used some of that, and more foil and more gems. I put everything in the kitchen sink, and some more vines, those twigs like I had for the spring, but in the spring goddess it was flowers, and this goddess has gems, jewels, and gold growing on those twigs. Lips, IBH lip liner. I'm creating huge DSLs for this look. So this is the final result, and this is my divine being, divine self. At the end of the session ball, she came through, and of course this is Lada, the goddess, a Russian Slavic goddess. I can read you a little bit about it. If you care to hear, you probably don't care, but anyway. The funny thing, I didn't even know that Lada was goddess until I started to research. I accidentally picked myself a drag name, but after the Russian goddess, I thought it was just a junk car. Typical for me. Anyway, in Slavic mythology, Lada is the counterpart of Scandinavian goddess Freya and the Greek Aphrodite, goddess of spring, the end of winter, and of human desire and eroticism. She is paired with Lada, her twin brother, and said to be a mother goddess to some Slavic groups. So this is very interesting because also it says usually goddess of love, fertility, overseer of harvests, protector of lovers, couples, marriage, and family, women and children. She is illustrated as a voluptuous woman in her prime of life, full-bodied, mature, and a symbol of motherhood. Well, I'm a mother of 2 cats. I guess that counts. Anyway, I saw some images of her, and sometimes she looks like this, and there's a lot of gold. And it's also said that sometimes she's pictured with a symbol of sun on her chest, and I decided to go with that as well. And I tied it with my other looks. A previous look, it was a goddess Visna, and that was a goddess of spring. And she had the flowers and the vines so coming out of her lips, and there are leaves and flowers. And the divine, that was an earthly being, and divine self is more elevated. So she's got jewels, golden leaf instead of flowers, and she's got also golden leaf here, and gems here, and some vines, and the golden leaf is coming out of the vines instead of flowers. So it's like more elevated than godlike appearance, and she's more of a goddess of the goddesses. And this, my people, is Kokoshnik. If you want to Google that, this is I'm like sliding down so you can see what I created here. This is a traditional Russian headpiece, and usually it's decorated in lace and fabric. Sometimes there is kind of veil coming off of it, maybe for the wedding, and there are jewels. It's very, very royal, like a crown. And sometimes they have spikes like that, and sometimes it's just rounded. Just Google it, you'll see. Maybe I'll insert some images. So I made this out of craft paper, which I have. Walmart, of course, what else? I'm a Walmart hoe. And this is kind of iridescent. And I had those gems from Walmart craft department as well. Everything comes from Walmart. Craft department, they're like pink and iridescent, so it goes with my pink earrings. And this one is from Amazon, the crown. So I kind of attached it to it, and I glued some lace and some gems and some pearls. I mean, has to be everything, right? And the reason I decided to make her pink and white and gold, those 3 major colors, because she's a goddess of love and fertility. And to me, like love, fertility, it's all pink, like love, pink, red. So I decided to make her pink. And of course, there is a lot of gold because Lada usually pictures in gold. So yeah, this is my divine being. And this is a story I'm going to stick with. This is just like a piece of fabric. I'm just giving it away. This is not an outfit, just a little bit something I put together. And I gave myself humongous boobs, of course, because I mean, duh. She's like goddess of fertility, gotta have boobs. Oh, and yeah, the hands and the sun. The sun is symbol that Lada associated with, and the hands are connected with those fingers from the first and the second look. So those fingers are covering up me, my insecurity, covering up my eyes and my mouth, like don't see, don't look, and don't speak. And the second look, of course, she came out, and the fingers were flying off and sprouts and greens and flowers. And the third look, this kind of open hands. It's like a sound of hope and love and trust. It's open hands. Everything positivity, pretty much like this. This is it, right there. And they're gold too, because she's gold. And the sun is very glittery. I use like all my glitter and shimmer and everything in the kitchen sink. Glitter, rhinestones, you name it. because she's very extra. And this is the image of Lada Deluxe and Lada the Goddess. I think I came together very well. If I say so myself, I think it's very cohesive. This Cinderella did not get invited to the ball, but she still came uninvited and very fashionably late, like weeks late. So with that, I leave you with my divine self look. I just want to say again, if anybody watching or anybody cares what I have to say, a huge thank you to all of the staff behind the scenes, Painted with Raven. You made it happen and put it all together. The editing, it was so cool to see how this all comes together. I'm very fascinated with the way the show is actually made. So this was very cool to see, like all this footage. It was so much work. You cannot imagine, because we had to work in our homes. So you can just see how many cell phones I had to collect, and the discs with all the information, all the data, all the footages from all those days. I mean, that was tons and tons of work. So thank you for all the guys that put it all together, did all this work and made us look good on camera. And I'm happy I was there. You know, I didn't do as well as I thought I could, but you know, I know that I'm not good at competition. And going into the competition, I knew it might not turn well because I tend to get tired physically and not think straight. So, oh well. I showed my talent and I showed myself to the world. I gave myself exposure and I met wonderful people. I'm so grateful to meet so many cool celebrities and makeup artists. Amy nominated, all of the people that helped us and judged us and gave us feedback and encouragement. Raven, Rupaul, I mean, you name it. I'm so thankful to be part of a cast. And I'm forever gonna be Wow Presents World of Wonder Girl. I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video of something else, not Painted with Raven, but I guarantee it's gonna be as fabulous. So thank you for watching. Love you all. Bye!